Hello guys, this is the Dude at 2 and it's another video about the basics of Go. In this video I got a request for Fuseki, so I figured to start off the Fuseki videos. I'm sure I'll probably put off a couple. I learned a couple pretty good basics as far as Fuseki is concerned, but I think for this video I'm just going to do a basic overview of what the Fuseki are. A lot of beginners go on and they hear terms like the kobayashi opening, the senrei-sei, or the Shusaku openings, and these are different Fusekis, and a lot of people have no clue what they are. So instead of talking about actual strategy behind them, right now I'm just going to give an overview of the most common, most popular Fuseki. And in doing so, maybe I'll throw another video a little further down the way to explain a little more basics about the specifics of the different Fuseki. But so let me go. I have 6 or 7 that I'll go over just to give you an idea of what they are and maybe briefly comment on them. The first Fuseki we're going to deal with is going to be probably the absolute most common, and it's called the orthodox. And basically this is a formation. Usually black starts. He'll play on a star point, white will play on a star point, black will play on a komaku, and then white could play wherever. It doesn't matter. And then what black will do is he'll do an extension. This is considered the orthodox opening for black. Black is able to extend this way. He's able to extend this way, and this because he's on the 4/4 point, he's got a lot of flexibility. It's very popular. I believe it's the most popular Fuseki. It's the most common one that I've ever seen. I see this all the time. So it's played mostly by black, though white can do a mirror. It's generally not recommended for white to mirror black too often in the beginning because white is behind. Black plays first. If white keeps mirroring black, they're going to be even, but black has that extra move, that extra, black keeps sente. So white generally, the 6.5 or 7.5 komi that white gets is something to keep in mind. It's usually, most people believe it's not enough. So white has to be a little more aggressive in the beginning, which is usually why the orthodox is played by the black stones mostly. But this is the orthodox. It can be played in any combination of that. It's basically, you have a shimari in the corner and a star point here with the komaku. Okay. That being said, we'll go on to the next popular Joseki, and basically, Fuseki. And basically what it is it's called a cross hoshi. Now cross hoshi, all it means is you're setting up to play diagonal. What that means is black plays here, right? If white plays here, then black would have to play in this corner or this corner if he's going to play traditional corners. Okay, but if white plays here or here, then black has the option of playing a diagonal, and this is what a diagonal hoshi is. And then white will play here, wherever he plays, and now you have a diagonal. So simple explanation: this is a diagonal hoshi. The person who determines the possibility of a diagonal is white, because if white simply plays here, then black cannot force a diagonal, in any way. Black will play here or here. But if white plays here or here, then black can force the diagonal or still choose to play normal. So the only person that will allow a diagonal, at least in basic theory, there are ways of forcing it, but without getting too complicated, is that way. And then I would play here and you have a diagonal. This is diagonal Hoshi. Okay. Moving on to the next Fuseki that we got going on is the very popular it's called Sen Rei Sei. I've heard it pronounced many different ways, but if you hear the Sen Rei Sei, what they mean is this. White will play here. I'm sorry, black will start. Black will play there. White will play there. Black plays here. White plays here. Black plays here. White plays there. Notice they're all on the 3 points. Okay. Black doesn't have to. I'm sorry. White doesn't have to mirror what black does. But this is just for an example. They're both in the Sen Rei Sei. Okay. Basically, star point, star point, star point. It's a very flexible opening. A lot of people like it. I believe there's a professional who made it famous. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he plays it every time. And so do a lot of professionals. So this is a Sen Rei Sei. It, you know, easy to invade, in which case black doesn't care. Black just builds territory, or I'm sorry, influence. Or, you know, if they try capping moves or to push it, black gladly accepts this big chunk of territory. So it's a very good opening play, and you know, a lot of times it leads to some of the other common Fusekis that we won't be talking about. You know, where people just extend to the different star points. You know, we might talk about something like that, but I mean, you know, a lot of framework going on here. So that's the Sen Rei Sei, and we'll talk about just 2 more. Yeah, we'll talk about 3 more. One of the most popular, I'd say next to the orthodox, is what's called the Chinese. Now it's very confusing. There's Chinese, mini Chinese, micro Chinese, but they're all variations of what is called the Chinese. It's a very basic pattern, and I'll show you it right now. Black's going to start here. We'll just assume that white will play star points. Black's now going to do a low komaku, in which case white's going to play his corner, and now this is the Chinese position. Okay, it's very strong here, and it's very flexible up here, and it's designed in such a way that wherever you attack, black is able to build territory. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it, you know, strategy against it or anything like that right now. There are a lot of really great videos, and probably way more detailed than I could ever be as far as attacking or defending with the Chinese. Different placements of the stones are what changed the Chinese to a micro Chinese or a mini Chinese, but this is the basic Chinese Fuseki right here. Okay, and we'll talk about the other really popular one. Is called a kobayashi. Technically, a lot of people say it's not really a Fuseki. It's more of a reaction to you know, a certain variation of moves, but it's commonly played in the very opening, so a lot of people do consider it a Fuseki. So, you know, take whatever side on that you want. I'll show you it. It's very common, and a lot of people like it is because it's strong and it's real easy to do. So you be the judge. How the kobayashi works is white will play, or sorry, black will play here. Then we have another star point. Black playing low. Okay. White is going to play here. Black approaches. Now, when black approaches, the common move for white is going to be here or here. Okay, that's just a common Joseki, where black would invade and black would play here and white would play up here. Okay, but what black does now is he does a large horse out, either to here or to here. Either of these are acceptable. This is the kobayashi. Okay. Normally white would do some type of invasion up here. And then there's the if white decided to play here instead, knowing that black would kobayashi, then black would get his extension. Okay, but generally speaking, when they talk about the kobayashi, this is what they're talking about. Either there or here, or I guess sometimes even here, are different variations. But this is what you need to know when somebody says kobayashi. It's straight from the 4-4 point. Okay, so basically you go like this. Black does a very common invasion. White does a very common response. Black now has the kobayashi Fuseki. It's very strong over here and still leaves a lot of flexibility. You know, if white decides to do something over here, you know, a little slower, black will jump up here and have a nice lead. It's it puts a lot of pressure on white. Okay, and white still has you know, a lot of openings, and black now has a stronger base, and it's wide open, so it's got a lot of potential. That being said, I'm going to go over my favorite opening as of right now. Now this is an opening from history. It's called the Shusaku opening. Now Shusaku was a Go master back in the day, in the 19th century, maybe even before that, but I'm pretty sure 19th century. But he basically kicked everybody's butt. Even as a kid, he was a very strong Go player. Sometimes these guys come along who's just got a real strong natural skill. Now, this opening is considered outdated and old-fashioned because of the introduction of komi. Komi is the 6.5 or 7.5 points that white gets for playing second to kind of even the game out a little bit. Back in the day, it was hard to win as white at a high level, and Shusaku was famous for never losing. Well, he lost a couple times, but almost never becoming near invincible when he played black. And the reason was because of his Shusaku opening. He said, if you play this opening, you know, it's very strong. So I'll show you this outdated opening. Maybe you can figure out a way to make it, you know, more modern savvy. I don't think it's played very much anymore because of that, but I like it, so I try to play it if my opponent lets me all the time, just because it's, I don't know, it's got historical value to me. But here we go. Black will start with a komaku here, in which case white will answer here. That's typical response. A komaku on the side is often responded with a komaku on that side. Black will play down here. Now white is going to approach, which was the common thing to do, right? 4, and then black would play 5. White would play 6 here, another approach, and then black would do the famous Shusaku diagonal, and that is the Shusaku opening. I won't comment on it too much, but if you look at it, it seems like a fairly even trade right now, right? White's got a corner, black's got a corner. Black's got another corner, you know, and white and black are fighting for this corner. The big difference is, I guess this white stone is kind of close to black's territory, and if, you know, black could kind of harass this, or, you know, build this way and kind of harass the stone, and white has a bit of a moyo up here. So it was a famous Shusaku, and he won, you know, tons of games with this. So this is the famous Shusaku opening. I hope this helps kind of sort out what's what with the various Fusekis, the different names and what they are. As far as various strategies, there's tons of information out there from people who understand it better than me. If I do talk about individual openings, I'll be giving just the basics as what I'm going to stick to, you know, as the source of my YouTube videos. I'm going to keep it very simple and very basic. But experiment. If there's something you like, you know, try out the different openings. If you have a good result, you know, most people have a couple openings that they like to play all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not stifling. You know, you could just really build and make your opening very powerful. So that's it for the video. It's, like I said, just an overview of various popular Fusekis. Now there are more. There are some crazy ones out there. I've been researching about the Great Wall of China Fuseki by Bruce Wilcox, who's an American who is famous for his sectoring theory of Go, and he's a pretty strong player. I've read his books, at least his one book, Easy Go Oriental Strategy is a great book. I recommend that. And it's an interesting, you know, strategy where black just builds a wall in the center while white goes around. It's completely against all, you know, orthodox Go strategy, but that's what's beautiful about the game. You know, what's orthodox today is old tomorrow, because the game is so wide open and versatile. You can come up with your own Fuseki and make it great, and you know, now, you know, the whole orthodox theories go out the window, and now there are new theories. You know, there are old theories and new theories and constant theories being developed. So it's one of the things that makes Fuseki amazing. The other thing to note is that none of these are set in stone. Professionals constantly open in brand new ways never before recorded and seen. Though it's not often, you know, they're playing for money, you know, they want to win. They try to stick with the tried and true, but occasionally, you know, they try some new stuff. Just I think last year or the year before, there was a brand new Fuseki that had never been seen before, and the person who started it actually won the game with it. So it's not unheard of. Again, if you have any questions, I will reply to any questions, any comments. It usually just takes me a couple days, and I'm glad I had to request for a basic Fuseki video. If you have any specifics, please let me know. Thank you guys for subscribing. I'm up to 30 subscribers. Started from 1, so I appreciate you guys' support and your comments. And once again, if I mess up, don't hesitate. I don't take criticism harshly. I take it lightly. As long as it's good constructive criticism, I will give you credit. I'll fix my issue if it is an issue. And keep coming. Thank you for your support. This is the Dude 2 signing off. You guys have a good day.